It's time to talk about Corning, New York.
I'm in Corning, New York. What the hell can you do in Corning, New York? Isn't this a little country town in the middle of nowhere?
I suppose I could go down Market Street. Market Street is the main business district of Corning, New York. It's full of little stores, galleries, restaurants, old-fashioned antique stores, ice cream parlors, all the fun things you want to look for in an outlet mall or a fancy old town that really has a lot of things going for it. There are some fantastic parks, some fantastic restaurants, all on Market Street. It's about 7 or 8 blocks long. And don't forget to look for the events at the Center Square. Now let's check over at the Corning Museum of Glass, CMOG as they call it. You can't hardly miss it. It takes up about half of the city of Corning, and it's got parking for, I think, thousands.
Corning Museum of Glass. Lots of people, often very crowded. The first thing you find is the gift shop, of course.
And it's a good chance you'll find something for everybody in this little shop.
Glass dresses. Glass jewelry. Something for the ladies. They have a Corning Museum of Glass cafeteria.
The museum is really divided into 3 sections. Artsy glass, old-time artsy glass, modern glass manufacture and technology, and then the working glass factory, which is actually part of the museum. But this is the technology section, where there's a lot of information about what glass is used for. This is a cable put across the ocean 100 years ago, and now it's replaced by a few strips of fiber.
Like iron, copper, nickel.
Of course, there's a lot of stuff on the history of Corning and the Steuben and Chemung counties and why there were so many glass manufacturing plants in that area, and there still are quite a few. There are cabinets and cabinets and cabinets of beautiful crystal glass and specialty glass products like fancy paperweights and buildings. Here's more of the art of making glass in the early days, and more of the artsy old-time glass. Some of this stuff, I am told, is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And there's banners everywhere to tell you how it was done and what's unique. And these things are all made from glass. They're pretty cool. I would suspect if you go to the Corning Museum of Glass, you should plan on at least 3 hours to get around it, and if you're going to see the shows and some of the demos, 4.5 or more to see it. It's a great museum. Right around the corner off of Market Street is the Rockwell Museum. It's a wonderful old museum, and it's full of Remington originals and a lot of southwestern art, sculptures. For those who are not into museums as much and would like a little adventure, the Soaring Museum, National Soaring Museum, and Harris Hill glider rides is a great place to go. It's just up the hill from Horseheads, a little farther east than Corning, probably another 6 or 7 miles. But it's at the top of a hill, and there's a big amusement park and driving range and ball practice and all sorts of things up on top of Harris Hill. But the big thing is the Harris Hill National Soaring Museum and the Harris Hill Glider Park. I'm not sure how much a glider ride costs, but they tow you up with a plane to a couple thousand feet with an instructor, and he kind of teaches you how to fly the glider. And I think if it's the same as it used to be, you can get an aerobatic glider or you can get a standard glider. And also you can do a lot of things up in the air with the glider. Here's a group taking the glider out, and they're going to go flying in it. They're just waiting for the tow plane to get there.
Now, if you want to see information about the Soaring, you go to the Soaring Museum, which is right here. This is the National Soaring Museum. This is the restoration shop. Lights aren't on in there just yet. How'd you like to be a glider flying on that thing? Have you ever wondered how they get gliders from one place to another? That's how they pack them up in a trailer.
Just over the hill from Harris Hill, a couple of miles, is the big Elmira Cemetery. And inside the cemetery are a couple of famous people buried here. And if you can see the signs as we drive through the cemetery, you can figure out who they are. Mark Twain, also known as Samuel Clemens, died in Connecticut, but was requested to be buried in Elmira. But if you're more of a thrill seeker than a dead person visitor, then there's also Watkins Glen, which is about 10 miles north of Corning, New York. And you can get into the Glen and watch cars practicing or watch amateur days racing, or sometimes you can see even the real thing. But it's open for free. I went here and took these pictures, and it's a lot of fun to go there and do all that.
And this is Watkins Glen State Park. A few stairs in this trail, but it's really a sidewalk. It's not really much of a trail. There are a lot of information posters Next to the Corning Elmira Regional Airport is the Wings of Eagles Airplane Museum, and they have some pretty good airplanes to look at. Pretty neat static displays out on the grounds here. They got some helicopters out here. Eagles. Yes. And this is all sorts of planes and engines that you can really get up close to and really take a look at. They got a Huey helicopter over on the other side. Right over there. They have my favorite plane, the A-10 Warthog, or Thunderbolt as it's called. It was a 50 caliber gun with a plane built around it. And it was called a tank buster. Great plane. The old Piper Cub. One of the things that a lot of pilots trained on. Some of the Navy planes with the flip-up wings. A lot of history and information back here. You really need to come and see all this stuff. It's full of stuff in the back corners. You can see the big planes out in the hangar, but all the information on the walls is just immense. If you're into history or World War II or the Air Force, this is really a great place to come. It's all witchcraft, but the original engines, planes, all the different things. They have simulators from all old planes, how they worked, and you can get in them and play with them, try them. Pretty neat. The original Link simulator, built in Binghamton, New York, at the Link Air Force Air Base. The radial aircraft engines. There's all the different kinds of engines over there. This is a really, really neat museum. A real American Airlines pilot simulator for a 737.
So I guess if you can't figure out anything fun to do while you're in Corning, New York, lots of stuff all over the place. I think you're going to find that you're just a boring person. So get out there, have fun, get around, and if all else fails, you can always turn to drink and go to the wineries up north. Hammondsport, New York, about 20 miles away. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.